Good morning. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. I'm going to be making a leche cake, and I may be saying that wrong. I think that's how you say it. I'm not good at Spanish words, and I know that means three. It's a milk cake, so I just call it a milk cake. Let's see here. There's Laura McGraw. Thank you for joining. I think you're the first one that popped up on the screen, and I appreciate you joining us. I do have a little cold, but I'm not sick. I'm not running any fever. So from time to time, I may step off the camera. I have a cloth that I cough in, so I don't cough in my hands or my clothes. So anyway, appreciate y'all hopping on and joining me this morning. We had a beautiful weekend. It's kind of messy, damp today, so I probably won't be going outside to do anything outside today because I'm not running in fever, but I do have a little cold. So appreciate y'all stepping on with me this morning. I've already made a cake, and it's in the oven. So I'm going to kind of do this backwards. I'm going to do the milk and show you how I do that. So when the cake comes out of the oven, I can show you what I do. This cake won't be completed today simply because once I add this milk to the cake, it has to sit and soak in the refrigerator, and that takes several hours. So I'll have to bring it back on this afternoon and show you completed how it looks once the milk soaks in. But anyway, I just wanted to do this cake because it's Carla's favorite cake. So, Carla, I'm making your cake. So I hope that y'all enjoy it. I'm going to move the camera over here to where I'm cooking. I'm going to show you. I'm going to step it back a little bit so y'all can see my boiler. And I'm going to turn this on kind of medium. I have put 1 can of Eagle brand. It's a sweetened condensed milk. I put this 1 can in this pan. I'm going to check my cake. I'm going to test it and see if it's, I don't think it's ready. Nope, it ain't quite ready. I'm going to add 5 more minutes to it. Timer. Okay, I've got 1 can of Eagle brand milk in here, and that's condensed milk. And this is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Put that in here. Scrape my bowl down. Because when that cake comes out of the oven, this milk goes in it while it's hot. So, and then I'm putting 1 cup of evaporated milk. Gotta see where my line is. Make sure I get the right amount. I'm not diluting this milk. 1 cup of evaporated milk. And I have to stand here and watch it because I don't want it to. I just have to simmer it for a few minutes. So I'm just going to whisk it so it won't. Because that's why it's called a milk cake. It's got 3 milks in it. And then I will start doing my cake. I hope y'all are having a good day today. Linda's at home. On every other Monday, we cook by ourselves. And then tomorrow, we'll be back together again. And then Wednesday, we'll be back together again. So, and then we may do an out and about on Thursday. But we kind of give each other a little bit of a break since we're cooking 3 times a week now. Sometimes we cook 4 because of the holidays, but we want to give y'all as many recipes as we can for the holidays. So I just gotta let that simmer just a little bit more, but I don't want it to scorch. This milk will scorch, so you do have to constantly beat it. And I'll show you the cake when it comes out of the oven. And I'm going to mix up the cake, but this milk had to be ready when the cake come out of the oven. So I'm making 2 cakes so that y'all can see as much of it, the finished product, as possible. But I'll have to come back on later this afternoon and complete it. I should have put part 1, part 2, so you would know it's 2 different videos. But it's just the way it is. There's no way, because it takes several hours for this milk to soak into the cake, and this cake has to be refrigerated, and it doesn't last a real long time because of the milk. So probably a couple of days is probably all that I would give it to last, because it's soaked up so much with milk. Let's see here. I like another minute. My cake, I'll get it out in a minute. I think Carla is she's monitoring. Hi Carla. She's on the other end. And on Mondays, Linda has a ton of work to do on the website. So on Mondays, it's kind of hard for her to take a half a day to film. So she's working on the website today because it's been a long holiday, a long weekend for her. It was her birthday Friday, and her and her cousin and her daughter Grace and Erin went to that some kind of ice palace in Fort Worth, and I think it's in Grapevine. Anyway, they spent the night, Saturday night, up there, and she said she had a wonderful time, and so I'm sure that she's going to tell me all about it. I didn't bother her last night about it. I did talk to her this morning, and she told me that she would be working on Pinky Malls today, and she did have a good weekend. Linnell, all of y'all know, Linnell, Charles' wife, she's been in the hospital. She's been having fever. She's had a really bad cold and a UTI, and so she's been in the hospital for about 3 days, well, since Friday, and she's hoping to get out today, but you can say a prayer for her, because we certainly want her to get to feeling better, because she wouldn't be in the hospital if she wasn't feeling really bad. Well, she had a really high fever, and y'all, so anyway, all right, let me get my pad and get this cake out. I'm going to test it to see. Well, I should have my hot holders out, but I didn't. There goes my buzzard. I'm going to test this cake. Let me pull it back and you can see. I'm going to test it with my tester, my cake tester. I test them while they're still in the oven. I don't take them out. And it is done. Yep, it's done. So I'll take it out. Now I'm going to fork this cake. This right here, milk, has got to, I got to cook it just a little bit longer. You're supposed to simmer it. I don't want it to scorch, but I'm just going to get it really good and hot. And it hadn't quite there, so I turned my burner up, so I'm going to have to stand here and whip it for sure. I'll bring the camera a little bit closer so y'all can see what I'm doing, because I'm fixing to poke this cake here with this fork. Just poke it a lot. Put a lot of holes in it with your fork. And I will tell you, this batter will be thick when you first cook it, when you first mix it up, but that's okay. It's supposed to be. Okay. I got the hose in it, and I'm gonna. This has to be hot, good and hot. Get all those. Oh, let's see here. I think I'm supposed to. I need to put a teaspoon of cinnamon in this milk. Get a teaspoon. put a teaspoon of cinnamon in it. And I'm going to put, you don't have to put almond in, I put almond in, extract in my cake, so I'm going to put some in this milk. I'm going to put a teaspoon of almond milk in that's good almond extract. Whip it up real good. Get that cinnamon all in there. The cinnamon likes to clump up. That's why you just whisk it. Oops. And now I'm going to pour it over this cake here. I'm just going to pour it over the cake. The container will be hot, will be full of milk. Okay. Put that boiler up. All right. See how your cake is, your pan is full of milk? You got to let that set. I have to let it set and cool off, and then I put it in the refrigerator. But I'm going to set it over here on the table so that it will be off of the stove, so it won't take as long to cool. But I'm going to set this over there on another space, and that is heavy. I sure. Okay. All right. Now that is the a step ahead of what we're doing now. Now I'm going to show you how to make the cake. And we're sponsored by Imperial Sugar, extra fine. I've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I've already got that measured up. I want a tablespoon of baking powders. I like that little can has that indentation on it that you can level it off. 1 tablespoon of flour, and I'll rinse off my teaspoon. I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt, kosher salt, in here. I hope y'all can hear me. I hope I'm not talking too low. I normally have a loud voice, but I'm not really. I guess it's because I'm a little hoarse. I'm being cautious. Anyway, I'm going to whisk up the flour and the baking powders and salt and just set it aside. I have greased. I buttered a 9 by 13 inch pan. That's what that pan was. And I have another pan that's I buttered. And so I'm going to set this aside, and I'll bring the camera over here to where I'm going to beat up the liquid. I have 6 eggs, whole eggs in this. 6 whole eggs, and I've already beat them just a few minutes because I didn't want the beating, because I usually beat it for about 5 minutes, so I went ahead and beat it for several minutes. So I'm going to beat it again for a few minutes. And I got 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to add a little bit at the time to your eggs. Like I said, I've already beat these eggs some, so I'm beating them a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar at a time. That was 2 cups of sugar. And I'm using almond extract. You can use vanilla, but I'm using almond. I preheated my oven to 350. I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of almond flavoring in this. Oh, and it smells so good. That almond. I have a stick of melted butter, and when you melt your butter, you need to make sure that it's cool before you add it to your eggs, because it might cause your cake to go flat or cook your eggs. So half a cup, which is a stick of butter, add it in here. And just add it slowly. Scrape it all out. Chuck's going to be getting the Christmas decorations out this week. Okay. I'm just going to whip that up just a little bit more. And then I'm going to add the dry ingredients. And that's all it is. It's not that hard of a cake. Good morning, Amber. Karen, Williams, Rhonda. Once I get this beat up, the liquids, then I will use a spatula to combine the flour, the dry ingredients. I'm looking at my recipe again to make sure I hadn't left something out, but I haven't. Okay. Alrighty. Now I will add my dry ingredients. I'm going to just take this, make this beater off because I don't need it anymore. Try to get all that off I can. Now I'm going to use, I'm just going to put a little bit in here at a time. My flour mixture, and just stir it around. The longer you beat cake batter, when you're making a cake, the longer you beat the dough after you put the flour in it, the tougher the cake gets. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of flour at the time and kind of stir it in together. And like I said, the batter is thick, but that's what it's supposed to be. Now I'll add some more. So, whenever you're beating your eggs, your eggs needs to be room temperature before you start using them. Because what happens, it cools down when you're using, when you start to bake, your batter will be cold to go into a hot oven. Alrighty, I'm fixing to add the rest of the flour in. It's really not a hard cake to make. It just takes a long time to get complete the project. So I'm gonna, I probably said this before. If I ever get me which I probably won't, I'm not being negative, I'm just reality. If I ever built me a house, I would have these cabinets about 6 inches lower than the normal height. Because I can't, they're just too high for me. I'm short, and it just, This is really thick. See? I didn't put this on the recipe, but I'm going to add about a half a cup of milk in that. I'm going to put a half a cup of milk in here. Maybe not a half, maybe a fourth a cup. Because I didn't add that this morning, but I can tell more that was stirring. I think I put a cup of milk on the recipe. I wouldn't put a cup of milk in here. I don't know why I put that cup on there. Like I said, I have never written down my recipes. And then when I start to make something, I try to remember. And you know, I'm not the best at remembering. So sometimes I make mistakes whenever I write that recipe. Okay. I know if I was using the mixer, I probably wouldn't have had to add the milk. But that was entirely too thick for some reason. Okay. It's ready. See, it's still thick, very thick. All right, now I'm going to put it in the bowl. I'm going to put it in the cake. I buttered this 9 by 13 inch pan. Let me put it back so y'all can see it. And I'm going to put this cake batter in here. You can see it's very thick. And it's supposed to be thick. I'm going to get my bowl scraper out. Because that bowl scraper works wonders. I got to get it all off of my... Get it all off of my spatula here. I don't want to leave no good stuff on it. I see people baking. Oh, them leaves are falling. Oh my goodness, they are falling like rain out there. I was going to get somebody to come and rake my leaves this week, but all the leaves hasn't fallen yet. So I may have to wait another few days because I still have a lot of leaves left on the trees, and I have a lot of trees around here. This cooks for about 30-35 minutes. And whenever in about 20 minutes or 25, your cake, it won't be risen as much as what you think it should be. Don't worry about it. It will. So don't panic and think that your cake is not going to turn out, because it will. But I added about a fourth a cup of milk to this, which I didn't to that other one. But I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if it's when you stop, when you do something, and when you stir, and then you come back to it, and you do it in intervals. I don't know if that makes a difference, because that's what I did this morning with that one I baked this morning. Okay, here is the cake. You can see it doesn't come very far up on the pan. But I'm fixing to put it in the oven now. And set my timer for 30 minutes. Okay. Now I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this cake again. I'm going to show you how much it's. Can you believe that I was able to pick up that pan that I just taken out of the oven, and it wasn't even hot? This pan wasn't even too hot to handle. Well, that was nice. See, this is the cake that if you can see it. And see, it's soaking in. It's soaking in the cake, but it's going to take it a while. So I'm going to let it cool off a little bit longer, and then I'm going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator and let it sink in for an hour or two. Then I will come back. I'm going to do some whipping cream and put on top of it, but it has to be completely cool before I can add I'm not using Cool Whip. You can use Cool Whip if you want to, but I'm beating up some whipping cream. Putting whipping cream on top of it, and then you can put your favorite fruit on top. Strawberries, mandarin oranges, any kind of fruit on top of your Cool Whip. And that is a tres leche cake, if I'm saying it correctly. So I hope that gives y'all an idea of how to make this cake. I hope it turns out great for you. And I will show you the completed product once it gets completely cool. And I'll put the topping on it and the fruit. So I know about a year ago someone asked if we knew how to make a milk cake. And at that time I didn't. I knew it was Carla's favorite cake, but I didn't know how to make it. So I don't remember who asked, but this is how you make a milk cake. That's what I call it, because it's a little easier for me to say it's milk cake. You can use regular vanilla or you can use almond vanilla, either way. But anyway, I'm going to get off of the air because my voice is kind of giving out on me, and I've got I'll do the whipping cream and get the fruit out and ready to show you when it's completely cool. So hope y'all have a great day today, and try to stay in out of the weather. I'm not going to get out in that weather today. It's kind of wet. It's not raining, but it's just wet, and so I'm not going to get out in it today. I've been taking cough syrup, and that's helping a lot. I'm not coughing nearly as much as I was. So hope y'all have a great day. Don't forget to count your blessings. The Lord is so good to us. He's good to everyone. You can always find something to thank the Lord for, because, you go to sleep at night and you wake up the next morning, and that's a blessing just to wake up in the morning, and just count your blessings. And it's getting Christmas time. If you know someone that is struggling and having a hard time, you might want to see what you could do. Maybe bake them something. You don't have to go to large extremes. You can just show a little kindness by taking the kids a cupcake or just something. You can figure something out if you know somebody that is struggling here at Christmas. This is the time of the year that a lot of people does struggle, because of the way society has done us, the way we have done it to ourselves, that we think we just gotta go so big on Christmas gifts and things. That's not what's important. It's not important. It's showing your love for your family. That's what's important, and remembering the reason for the season, that our baby Jesus' birth. So just try to find somebody that you can, and be kind to them. You don't know who's struggling. A lot of people hides their troubles and their stress and stuff. But just ask the Lord to guide you to someone. I've done that before. Lord, point out someone to me that that might be struggling, and that if there's something I could do to help. So I'm sure y'all could find someone to help, and just try to get in the kitchen and bake something for someone, or just turn on some good music and listen to that. The music does a lot for you. It can soothe your soul in a lot of ways. So I love y'all. Don't forget to count your blessings, and I will see you later on this afternoon. I am going live on my other channel sometime on my other page also this evening for another giveaway. But I'll also come back and show you the complete product this afternoon. So I'm going to be a busy person today. Love y'all, and don't forget to tune in later on. Bye-bye.